Happy to be here, you guys. Welcome. This is going to be a fun class. I hope that you are ready for it and have your notebook out. I always recommend taking lots of notes. You can clearly listen to this maybe while working out or doing dinner or doing the laundry or driving in your car. But I'm going to show you some stuff today that I hope will help transform your life. So, are you guys ready for transformation? Because like I am, and I can't tell you how exciting it is when you find something that works well. All right, so let's get started. So welcome again, you guys. My name is Jen O'Sullivan, and I have been on a wellness journey for many years, so about 12 years now. And part of the beauty of this is that things are constantly changing, right? We're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving, and new information comes out. One thing I learned about just about like 11 years ago was the concept of bioavailability. So who in here knows what bioavailability means? And I'm going to be giving away some stuff today because I think it's important for you guys to have fun with this and to get some really cool content. My goal is to give you as much free content as possible. I obviously sell books and stuff because I can't give those away for free all the time, but I'm going to give away some books today. I'm going to give away some free content. So we're just going to kind of randomly choose people later. So go ahead and just be a participant. I want to see lots of participation today. You can also share this out with your friends. It's free everywhere. This is a free class for anybody to take. And it's on my podcast. It's on my YouTube channel, which is Jen's Tips. And then it's also on Facebook, as always, because that's where we mostly do our teaching. So we're doing a Supplements 101 course. And one of the things about supplements to me is that I was truly fully against them. And if you've heard my story before, I really do believe that you can get your daily nutrients, minerals, vitamins, all that good stuff through like taking just what you eat, right? Your food source. And the sad reality of that, though, and this is something I did learn many years ago, was the concept of two items, right? There's these two evils, if you will. One is while we should be getting them from our food source, we just can't anymore because of the way farming practices have, they've trying to cultivate things really quickly. They've genetically modified things simply so that they can grow quicker, food sources, and then vitamins and things that they're making, right? The foods themselves are being pumped full of synthetics to make them grow faster, literally synthetic vitamins into the land. And this is the problem because our food source has been drastically depleted, number one. Number two on the food source, though, is most of the things we're eating, because of the fact that there's so many of us in this world, nothing is farm fresh, right? Nothing is picked that day. I remember going on a trip to Europe, and we were staying at a youth hostel, but it was in this castle in Germany, and it was so beautiful. And I kid you not, it was some of the best butter lettuce I have ever had in my entire life because they literally pulled it from the earth about an hour before we ate it. And I didn't understand what that was. And when you eat something that is harvested right when it's ripe or right when it's ready to be eaten, the nutrient value in that is so much greater, and your body knows what to do with that. Nowadays, things are being grown improperly. So first of all, but second of all, they're picked too early. They're picked like 2 weeks early, knowing that we need to get them into our house. And then, by the way, I don't know if you ever remember, but years ago, when Trader Joe's was just starting to become popular, I was always mad that my produce would go bad really fast, right? And that's an interesting thing, though, that, we want to buy our produce. It's picked 2 weeks early, but then we want it to somehow last for 2 weeks in our refrigerator. And I was always really upset that the Trader Joe's anything produce-wise, was going bad within a couple days. Okay, sadly, I don't know if you've noticed, Trader Joe's stuff doesn't go bad within a couple of days anymore. And that's because things, they have to stay in business, And so people complain, and so they put synthetics on them to preserve them. Okay, so it's this really horrendous cycle that we're dealing with, that our food source is drastically depleted. So I'm thinking, well, okay, supplements can't be all that bad. But the reality is, and what I'm going to talk to you guys about with today, and how bioavailability plays a role in this, but also store-bought brands, why the supplementation industry is really bad. So we're sort of at a loss. So what do? Do we just kind of go around life being depleted of all of our things, and like zombies, like we're just kind of walking through this world? No. I'm here to tell you that there's a solution. I'm excited about that solution. I only found out about this solution 2 years ago. And that to me is wild, because I was against it. And I know many of you guys are against it too. Like you're thinking, I don't even know why I'm here. Okay, so let me introduce myself for a little bit, just to give you an idea of who I am, my background. Like I said, I've been about 12 years in the health and wellness industry, really doing as much research as I possibly can. Those of you guys who know me know I'm a college professor. I've been teaching at the collegiate level for many years. I am now retired from that because I teach all of you lovely people full time. And that is something that I absolutely adore, because I get to come on to 230,000 people, and help you guys out as much as I possibly can. So one thing that I have always done, though, is I've always been a writer, and I write books. And one thing that I am known for is taking complicated information and making it understandable to the layperson, right? So while some educators are very scientific minded and they will rattle off stats and different things to you, and it's hard for even me to listen to because it kind of goes right over your head, and then you have to listen to it again and again and again, and then try to make sense of it all. One of the things that I'm good at is getting to the point really quickly, but helping you understand things in terms of like stories and analogies that make sense. Now, the reason I do that is because I'm not that smart. I need to literally figure out on my own what this all means. How does this all work? How can I understand this so that I can remember it? And I remember things through storytelling. And that's pretty much, I think, how most of us learn. And as a professor, I know my students learn that. And one thing I am known for in the college arena is my patience in learning, because part of the thing about this is you're going to learn a lot of information today that you will have questions on. And many people will ask a question that I just answered maybe seconds prior. And the reason this happens is that your brain is kind of firing on all cylinders today, and you're going to be thinking about things, and I might explain something and your brain went on a little squirrel tangent because you had an aha moment about something I just said, and then you missed like the whole 30 seconds of something else I said that was super important, and you will straight up be asking a question that other people will be like, she just answered that. Okay, don't ever worry about that. Don't ever feel bad about saying, I don't know, and I need to ask this question again, because I understand how the brain works, and I know that we all are a little bit like overwhelmed. So how many of you guys would like the overwhelm to be better? And what I mean by that is your brains just want to be able to focus better. How many of you guys would like to get a better night's sleep? How many of you guys would like to have more energy that is sustained throughout the day? How many of you guys have sadness going on in your life and you'd like to feel better and not be kind of carrying this weight on your shoulders all day long? How many of you guys are just really simply interested in getting your gut health under control, your immune system? Maybe your immune system is totally out of whack. And so these are some things that I'm going to be helping you guys with today. And I'm excited because I will be selling you something, okay? And so be aware of that. I'm fully upfront with this, that I'm going to share with you some of my favorite supplements that I encourage you to get. And I'm going to explain to you why they're different. And this is going to be something you'll buy, not through me, actually. It's through Young Living. And I am a Young Living distributor. I have been technically a distributor for 11 years, but I actually never started sharing like I do today in a public setting or even just with friends. 4 years ago is when I actually started sharing. And that my whole world changed. Do you know that, and you might have been told this by a teacher, that the moment you teach something, that's when you truly learn it. And that's the same thing here. And I always encouraged my college students when I was teaching college, I want you guys to teach. If you can teach it, you will learn it. And so sharing your love of a product helps you learn it better. And so that's what I'm going to encourage you guys to do as well today. And again, if you are interested in all of this, I'm going to share with you at the end how to get started. I'm going to share with you training that is completely free. We have a very easy, what I call on-ramp to get you started in this industry. But not only if you didn't want to do that, an easy on-ramp to even just try one product. And so my goal today is to help you understand everything, but also help you pick what is right for you. Because we're not all one size fits all, right? We're all about, let's figure out what's right for me and start slowly. Or some of you guys are all about, I get this and I'm all in, right? So I'm going to help you either dip your toe in or jump into the deep end. So I would like to know who you are. What kind of person are you? Are you a dip your toe in kind of person, or are you a dive right in? And by the way, no shame in being either one. I will say I'm a dive right in person, and I tend to kind of get myself into trouble sometimes. Sometimes the water's really cold, right? Or sometimes it's a little shallow and I'm like, oh shoot, I needed to kind of not dive so deep. But those of you guys that want to dip your toe in, sometimes that's a problem too, right? Because sometimes you might kind of stunt your growth simply because you're afraid. And I want to help you get rid of many of your fears today. I want to help you feel confident. My husband is the dip your toe in kind of guy, and I'm a dive in girl. And the dip your toe in person, I absolutely applaud that method. And what I do is help him. My goal is to help a dip your toe in person feel super confident. So like if he's interested in buying a new bike or a new car or something like that, I like to give him all the things, right? All the tools, all the information that he needs to make a confident decision. And I love that so many of you guys are to dip my toe, dive in, all in. I love all your answers. This is fantastic. I splash a lot. I love that, Kim says. So super fun to see all of your comments. So thanks you guys for participating. I love that. Okay, so here's my story with supplements. Like I said, I just did not want to use them. I felt like I could get them from my food sources, but the more and more I read and learned about how depleted our food sources were and is, I realized I needed to figure out this whole supplement thing. And I was very upset with it all, very upset. And here's the thing. We really do live in a world where supplementation is the norm, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've heard say like, I've totally upped my supplement game. I do so many supplements. I got like 80 different supplements. And my son, I mean, here's a little example. This is a little, you know, those little old people things. I mean, sorry, some of you guys are older, right? We'll say more mature, but this is one of those supplement pill capsule things where they're big. You know, I got this at Walmart, and it contain, you can put like 30 capsules in each. And I'm thinking, why would you need something this big? And this is found in the, you know, the pharmacy department. And it's Monday through Sunday, right? But it's because so many people are on so many supplements and pharmaceuticals, and they can't keep track, and you don't want to ever double up. So they put exactly what they need in for one day. And I'm thinking, but what about timing, right? Like you can't really pop all those pills at once. So I have kind of made this a little different, and I've put sticky notes on here to say which supplements I like the most, and it's all the supplements in there, and I just have them in order. This is my travel case. But that's the world we live in, right? People get mass doses of vitamin C. They're getting vitamin B injections, right? People are learning how to stick themselves with vitamin B. And realistically, if you are not on a full spectrum multivitamin, your mother would disown you, okay? And I think that's the reality of all of this. And can we just back up though to understand that dietary supplements were not a thing at all, even like 20 years ago? Basically what happened is the US Congress passed a Dietary Supplement and Health Education Act, okay? This was only in 1994. After that, guess what happened? You guys, the supplement consumption skyrocketed. I'm gonna grab some water here. We have had a full week, you guys. A full week of teaching you guys so many different things. So my voice is a little bit off. All right, so, but what has happened in the United States alone, and I think this is really fascinating to understand, is that the supplement market is now a $31 billion industry. And 76% of all adults in the United States take some form of dietary supplement. We're not talking about pharmaceuticals here, okay? The pharmaceutical industry is like a trillion dollar market, right? But this is where it gets interesting, because again, that's a lot. And it's estimated that there are 80 to 90,000 dietary supplements on the market, if not more, okay? And that's actually a low number, because that was, again, we're trying to get as many current stats as possible, but this was a PBS producer did an article in 2016, and that was the most recent study and data I could find. But 80 to 90,000 dietary supplements, I am positive it is probably in the 150 range right now, okay? So crazy amounts. All right, so when we get into starting to understand the supplementation and store-bought supplements, I want you to understand that out of all these supplements that are available, you've got some issues here, because the FDA doesn't necessarily regulate them. And I think many of us think they do, right? I feel like when I was growing up, I felt like if it was advertised on a commercial, if it was in the store, it was not going to kill me, right? We think about that. We think, well, if somebody is trying to sell me something, there's got to be super gullible growing up, and I really just believed that whatever McDonald's was selling should be healthy, right? They're not trying to kill us, okay? And the reality is they're not. But what happens here, especially in the United States, is the almighty dollar wins out. And we live in an open market here where people can kind of do whatever. And you know, if they're going to be able to make systems that will get in place so that they will be able to sell more, that the product will last longer, right? You know, I got into this argument with a gentleman at my sister's party about immunizations. And I'm not against immunizations at all. And Jacob has been immunized to some extent, but the majority of the immunizations he has not had, simply because I will not put those ingredients in his body. And, you know, and he was all upset at me. And I said, look, here's the reality of my feelings and my physical, like, digging and studying into this. If the pharmaceutical company would come up with the ability for us to purchase these immunizations in an organic way, right? And we all know that, right? You can buy an apple that's not organic, you can pay more and get an organic apple. If they would create two different series of immunizations, one being organic from natural things, it's going to cost more because the preservatives wouldn't be in them. They would have to be refrigerated, they would have to make them in smaller batches, and you'd have to get them right away. I'm all for it. I'm for immunization. I'm just not for the synthetics that they're pumping into our children, causing all these reactions. And Jacob had a reaction. So for me, I'm like, we're stopping now. And I'm up against possibly having to move out of the state of California because of the laws that are happening surrounding his 7th grade year, which is next year. So tell me what state I should move to, right? All of you guys, we've looked into many different states, but tell me where we should move. Maybe we'll move to Canada. So, and maybe they have the same laws up there. I don't really know. But here's the thing: the FDA law, right? So let's look at the FDA and their statements on federal law, which is very interesting. Federal law does not require dietary supplements to be proven safe to the FDA's satisfaction before they are marketed. This is a quote directly off of the FDA website, okay, from the FDA. That's frightening. I'm going to read that again. Federal law does not require dietary supplements to be proven safe to FDA's satisfaction before they are marketed. So they could put anything they want in there, okay? So, well, I know Canada's not a state. I meant, or I'll move to Canada, country. Okay. For most claims made, so here's another quote. For most claims made in the labeling of dietary supplements, okay, so most of these claims that are out there, the law does not require the manufacturer or the seller to prove to the FDA's satisfaction that the claim is accurate or truthful before it appears on a product. So this is the wild, wild west, right? No joke. Okay, here's another one. And these are direct quotes from the FDA. Dietary supplement manufacturers do not have to get the agency's, meaning the FDA's, approval before producing or selling products. I don't know about you, but this is frightening. And this is exactly why I have a problem with supplements, is because there is no regulation. Anytime you see government regulation happen, it's because it's a major company that is selling in the billions of dollars. And if they get tested or something, and then a bunch of people start calling the FDA, that's the only way, by the way. If the FDA starts getting a lot of chatter about a company that is making false claims, that's what happens. That's why, you guys ask me all the time, like, why was Young Living and doTERRA singled out for the whole consuming essential oils thing and the labeling regulations and the compliance regulations of us making claims? Because clearly we can. They don't require us to beforehand. And clearly you see on so many different websites non-compliant claims from other companies, from smaller companies, but seemingly large companies where you're thinking, what in the world? How are they able to get away with that? They're not able to get away with that. It's just not enough people have complained to the FDA for them to even bother. There's not enough employees at the FDA. I've called them 4 different times now, talked to 4 different representatives, asked them specifically, why don't you guys police other companies who are making claims and they're false? And all 4 answers were, we just don't have the resources. That's the United States for you. Okay, so it is a self-policed area of use. So supplements, right? If we're going to look at the definition of supplements are exactly what the word means. It means to add an extra amount of what we're not getting in our nutrition. So whole food nutrition is the most important aspect of proper health. And the goal is to get as much of that nutrition as possible from what God has created, right? Not what man has created. But the reality is the food sources we currently have access to are very different from that of those of our grandparents, right? Think that through. Or even our parents, or even when I was growing up, right? Things have drastically changed. Like I said, we've massively depleted our soils, but more importantly, if you are able to get organic farmers market type produce and proteins, they are usually picked before they should be. So unless you live on a farm, that's a little bit rough, right, to get all this stuff. Even animals, they're fed from sources that are not ideal. So here's another unfortunate thing. The reality is that we don't get these vitamins, minerals, micro minerals, and nutrients in the everyday food sources that we eat. And so supplementation is a great way to go. But, we have to make sure that we're getting the right kind. And here's another interesting fact. We want to consider bioavailability, right? And so what does that mean? Bioavailability is the act of something going into your body and your body using it, right? Not just being confused by it and then storing it somewhere, actually using it. And this is where I feel it's kind of messed up, if I'm being honest. Around 90% of the supplements you can buy today are not fully bioavailable because they're synthetic. And this is straight from sources, you guys. I have several sources on here. I will post these sources later today. But just know that, and if you're on the podcast, these sources will all go in the podcast notes. But when you consume a synthetic, your body has no clue what to do with it. You're basically either urinating it, defecating it right down the toilet, or your body's storing it, and it's like cellulite. You really don't know what to do with it. And it's really kind of sad. And that's why we have all of these actual petrochemicals and synthetics that are in our bodies that are causing toxicity in our bodies. And we wonder why natural products have a hard time working on us, because we are like petrified, our bodies. Okay, so what I want to help you understand why Young Livings are so different, and this is super key. First, Young Living uses whole food sourced fruits and veggies, herbs, and roots for their supplements. Second, they infuse many of these supplements with very small amounts of essential oils, but those essential oils, because they're so small in molecular structure, what it does is it makes them an excellent vehicle or pathway to increase the bioavailability of these herbs and roots and natural fruits and veggies, right? So when you look at whole food nutrition, you're getting the full synergy or the full entourage effect, as opposed to isolated nutrients, which your body really doesn't know what to do with. So you have to like pump yourself full of massive doses so your body will get some of it, but basically you're peeing it out, you're pooping it out. Okay. But what I love about the essential oil infusion is that our essential oils themselves, the essential oils, are very different than any of you can purchase on the market, because They are true unaltered botanicals, which does allow for the true entourage effects. This means that because the essential oil has not been modified, right? It has been just distilled. Like Young Living does not make essential oils. I don't know if you understand this. The plant makes essential oils. Young Living just extracts them and puts them in a bottle for you. We do nothing else to them. We're not modifying them after the fact, and we do not do anything to them during the process. So most of the times there's no pressure, it's just steam distillation. Sometimes it's cold pressing, which means it's no heat added and it's a pressing of the rinds. So it depends, and we do absolutely the correct process, but we're also looking at the seed. And if your company doesn't understand that the soil and the seed are so important, just start studying hemp plant and what that does, and that it pulls toxins from the earth, and you're getting what you get based on the soil. So the soil is so important as well. Okay, so when you're getting these true botanicals, we've got an amazing kind of synergy alone, because you've got two important factors in place. You have whole food, plant-based nutrition supplements, right, infused with unaltered essential oils. So you're going to get dietary supplements through Young Living that, in my opinion, and based on my research and based on my usage, are second to none. So what I love about Young Living is they've broken it down into 3 types of nutritional supplements. There's a foundational group, and this is these green labels. They just changed the labels, so some of you guys used to remember that the cleansing used to be green, but they've changed it so that the green are all now foundation nutrition. And foundation is noted by these green labels, and they're products like vitamins and minerals that support a healthy lifestyle. So they're the things, generally speaking, everybody should use. And then the second is cleansing nutrition. These are blue label bottles, and cleansing nutrition products are designed to support detox and cleansing and flushing, all that stuff like gut health and whatnot. And then you've got the targeted, and that makes up the majority of our supplementation, because there's so many vast things like hormones and joint support and cardio health. So those are noted by the orange labels, and they're formulated with very specific ingredients, including these powerful essential oils to support specific nutritional needs. And they target everything from, like I said, enzymes to joint to brain to heart to hormone. So I hope this kind of helps you understand this. So because we understand that there are so many supplements on the market, and you might think, well, I think I like the ones I'm using. So my goal here is to help you understand why Young Livings are better. And what I'm going to explain something to you. So an article on Healthline, I want to give you a cool quote here, states, the majority of supplements available on the market today are made artificially. Ugh, that's awful. So artificial or synthetic nutrients are produced in a lab. And what they are done, why they're created in the lab, is they're trying to help mimic the effects of nature. And so synthetic supplements are often quite a bit less bioavailable than their natural counterpart. And while science, right, science will tell you that your body will readily absorb these synthetic versions just as well as it would absorb it from nature, or, you know, in that natural form, they fail to tell you something very important. Your body won't actually recognize a synthetic version. As much as in the lab they see that it's the same molecular structure, your body knows better, okay? We have this thing called ancestral DNA, and what that is it's programmed in our bodies, the DNA, based on thousands of years of genetic code. Your body knows exactly what to do with the thousands of nutrients found in spinach. It gets a little confused when science isolates one vitamin or mineral and decides that that's what you need. So God created our food source to work synergistically together. The entirety of the molecules together are what allow for greater bioavailability, this entourage effect, this synergy. So our bodies know what to do with the 10,000 plus phytonutrients found in a single apple, but isolated vitamin C and taking it at extremely high doses is something our bodies really doesn't understand how to use. And so you're going to end up flushing the majority of that right down the toilet. All right, so isolated nutrients aside, the more frightening reality when it comes to supplements, like we stated earlier, is the dangerous ingredients that you may not even know you're consuming. So when you're buying a store-bought brand, let me just explain to you some of these ingredients that are commonly found in them. This is just awful to me, but artificial colors such as blue 1, red 40, yellow 5, these are color agents that, you know, we don't want to eat something that's like gray, right? So they make them look pretty. You're going to get hydrogenated oils, such as partially hydrogenated soybean oil. And the reason they put that in there is because it's a really good preservative. Think McDonald's French fries that have been sitting for 20 years and they still look the same. That's what hydrogenated oils do. You're going to get lead and mercury. These also are found in nature. So do know that's a natural thing, but you're going to get addeds of that more so simply because that's part of the way that they make these to help them last longer. You're going to get polychlorinated biphenyls. They're called PBCs. Those are awful. Please look it up. You're going to get, let's see, talc. And interestingly enough, you think, well, talc, isn't that baby powder? Isn't that what you find in some makeup? And isn't that a carcinogen? Well, yes, yes to all three. Why would it be in your supplements? They actually use talc because it's a really good anti-caking substance. So it makes it so that they don't get clumpy. Really just interesting. So I think, you're going to get titanium dioxide. And all of these cause a myriad of illnesses and diseases such as, just list them, cancer, heart attack, kidney damage, inflammation, heavy metal poisoning, heart disease, autism, autoimmune disease, and so much more. So we want to get rid of all of that. And Young Living, when you understand our promise, our guarantee, is that you're going to get naturally derived ingredients that your body knows exactly how to use and how to put to good use, right? That's what we want. That's bioavailability. Okay, so when you get started, and what I'm going to do is go over my favorites here. But when you just think, how do I get started with all this? Like, I'm sort of a little confused and I'm a little scared and I feel like I need to throw all of my supplementation out now. It's really important for you to listen to your body. And what that means is start slow. Okay, so you're just gonna take a quarter to a half of what the recommended daily dose is of any natural supplement. Whenever you start natural supplementation, you have to remember that your body has all of these synthetics potentially in it, right? Your body is kind of got other things going on. And you know, you're inserting in these natural products. What natural products want to do, because they're from nature, just think this through for a second. When you go and you get a juice, let's say you've never gotten a cold pressed juice before, like any of those cool juiceries, right? They're just cold pressed juices. I'm not talking about like a Jamba Juice, right? That's just full of sugar. I'm talking about actual cold pressed. It'll be like kale and celery and spinach and apples and, you know, all sorts of beautiful fruits and vegetables juiced. Okay, it's called a masticating juicer. So mastication is like when you chew your food, you're grinding it. So masticated cold pressed juice where they're just squeezing out the nutrients. So do you remember the first time you ever had one of those? Or maybe you haven't, and maybe you've heard of other people's stories. But what happens is within maybe 15 minutes, you're like, gotta go to the bathroom. And it's not number one. it's like number one coming out of number two. Okay. You end up with a rapid flushing of your system. And that is a drastic understanding of what this stuff does. So when you go and you juice and you start juicing, you feel a flushing, and it just flushes your colon out. And usually diarrhea happens, right? And that is a rapid detox. And so that's a good example for you to understand. When you flood your system with good quality phytonutrients, you end up kind of detoxing really fast. The same thing is true with any natural supplementation that is truly natural and truly derived from whole food nutrition. So we want to start slow, and you want to start in a way that's going to be positive for you and that's going to help support your body, but that's not going to put you in a freak out session. Okay. I don't mind that. I always, like, the first time I tried Ninja Red, and then I was like, I really like this, and I want to flush my system. So I drank like 8 ounces of it, and then I was on the toilet in 10 minutes. It's the same concept there with Ninja Red. But really, you only need 1 or 2 ounces a day, and that is going to be your daily regimen with Ninja, right? This is not something that you just guzzle, although some of you guys do. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna remember something that's very different. So I'm gonna help you understand something that's very different than what you normally do. You're gonna listen to your body. Most of us are told, do this, and you don't listen to your body. I have a good girlfriend of mine who was told to take a specific supplement that was not fully natural. I'm going to be clear with you on this. The ingredients, it was this, and many of your doctors can prescribe supplementation, and a lot of the supplements, like we talked about, are not natural. She couldn't get the pill down. She was supposed to take 2. She couldn't get it down, and she swallows pills no problem. And it wasn't a big pill. It was just a small pill, and she couldn't get it down. Her body was rejecting her. Her body was telling her no. But because the doctor told her she needed them, she forced it down, almost vomiting. And then she's like, I'm not going to be able to get that second pill down. So she crushed it up and swallowed it that way. And I'm like, what in the world? That is the epitome of not listening to your body. Okay? So I want you guys to remember it's important to start listening to your body. So that means anything new you introduce or anything you eliminate, right? We love doing moratoriums on things, like get rid of something in your life that you know is bad for you, and then pay attention. Watch your body, give it 30 days, see what the change is. And some of you guys will not like the change in the first 2 weeks because your body will be going through what's called withdrawal. Think about a heroin addict, right? Heroin is not good for your body, but an addict, somebody who's been on it for a while, the moment you go off of it, your body becomes raging, psychotic, wanting more, angry. It's a nightmare. It's the same thing when you eliminate something that you're used to. So like when you eliminate bread for the first time, you better believe you're going to have some pretty intense responses. Okay. So that's where we look at supplementation. You're inserting something good, but if you're taking out something bad, we want to kind of help balance. So we go slow and listen to your body, see how you feel. Each week as you move forward, you may want to increase your dose towards the recommended dose. So, your first purchase of this stuff is probably going to last you 2 or 3 months, but we need to stay consistent on it. And that's what I love about getting started, is it's not overwhelm. Okay, so once you feel like you have the right amount and you feel good, use that amount for 30 days straight. Okay. And people ask me this all the time, like, why do some of the supplements and why do people always tell me, like, take it for a month and then stop? Is because you want to take it then after you've gotten the right dose for about 30 days and then stop for several days, like 3 or 4 or 5 days. And again, listen to your body and be like, okay, is that working for me? Is that what I need? And usually it's like, whoa, yes. And in the case of some of the immune supporting ones, it's harder to listen to your body, right? Because for me, it's like, I feel great. Like, I don't know. I guess it's not doing anything. But then I have to remember, oh, wait, I'm not getting sick. So it is doing something. It's just not in my face doing something, right? All right. So is it okay with you if I spend the next 20 minutes? We're going to do this hour-long class. So this is definitely a full class. So it's a 1-hour class. But I want to spend the next 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes talking about my most important supplements that I encourage all of you to get on. And then I'm going to offer you guys this at a special discount. And I love discounts. Do you guys love discounts? My favorite is discounts. So straight up, that's what I want. But we're going to talk to you about around $800 worth of product. So right now, I want you to get your thinking caps on and think, I can't afford $800. I know that. I know many of you guys are saying it's not going to happen, Jen. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to actually get it down to about $400 for you through me. And that's where I want you to understand, even $400, some of you guys are like, okay. And I get you. I do get you. But what I want you to remember is something very important. And you can't clearly do this just right now. But what I want you to do is add up your medical bills from last year. So when you did your taxes and you added up your medical bills, what were they, right? Jacob got really sick. I shared my story yesterday, and he got really sick when he was in first grade. He was in the hospital for 3 days. Nobody knew what it was. The doctors couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what was going on. Miraculously, he got better. He almost died. It was awful. It was probably the most horrible experience I've ever gone through in my entire life. Thought he was going to die, the whole 9 yards. It was awful. Nobody could figure it out. They pumped him full of all sorts of stuff. And then all of a sudden he was miraculously healed, right? They had done everything and nothing was helping him. And they just said, well, we can't do anything more. So we're just going to wait. And we just waited and waited and waited, and the kid finally woke up and the fever broke, and everyone was like, we don't know what happened, but he's a miracle baby. He's alive, right? And I'm like, yay, like amazing, right? Any mom would be like seriously freaking out with joy. Thank you, God, for giving me my son back, right? And what happens, like, as they're having us leave, these doctors did nothing right. Okay, nothing. And they admitted we didn't do anything to help him because everything we did wasn't helping him in for real. But here's the bill: $25,000. Okay, $25,000. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, this can't be. This can't be. This is not right. So I took my health into my own hands. And I took my family's health into my own hands. And even still, my husband has type 2 diabetes because he straight up drinks like 5 gallons of Dr. Pepper each day, and he won't stop that. And so we now go in, and what's beautiful about my doctor for him is that she lets him use all of these because she knows the bioavailability of them. And she even has her own product. She doesn't sell this stuff, but she's like, oh yeah, that stuff is great. All of my clients who are on that are excellent. So you do that. I'm thinking, girlfriend, why don't you sell this in your shop? So, not her shop, but her office, right? And the reality of many of you guys is like, okay, but even $400 is rough. Okay, if I could help you see the value of this, I think this will make a lot of sense for you. Okay, and yes, you can do a payment plan. You can apply for I think it's a 6 months, same as cash, which I love, because many of you guys are thinking, okay, I want to be able to try this. I wouldn't want you paying it off over 6 months, right? I'm a big finance girl, and I like numbers to make sense. I would say if we're going to get you on this for 2 to 3 months, I would want you to pay that $400 off over the next 2 to 3 months. But what we're doing is we're swapping out things. So we're going to help you understand some of the stuff that maybe you were using that you're not going to use anymore. Okay, and the price tag of these are pretty comparable to high quality supplements that you can get at like Whole Foods, but these are way better. So if we just look at, say, Ninja Red. So I have a glass of water here, and to make this Ninja Red go longer, so this is a Ninja Red bottle, you're going to get quite a bit of this. So because this is the foundation. Ninja Red is going to help you. And I asked you a question earlier. Do you guys want more energy, better focus during the day? Do you want to support your gut health? Do you want to support your immune system? Do you want to help your digestive system, your brain health, your emotional health, your energy? Like I said, your hair, skin, and nails, right? This is big. I'm 45 years old. This is gray hair, colored. Yeah, I color my hair. Okay, it is what it is. But it's gray, and people don't, they're like, what? And my stylist is always like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Okay, what's supporting your hair, skin, and nails is this beautiful bottle of Ninja Red, plus some other things we're going to talk about. I'm going to take a glass of water, and I'm just going to pour about an ounce into here. Not very much. I'm talking a very, very small amount. Okay, so I've got my Ninja Red, and this is going to be a beautiful drink for me today. I also put in there, or I already had one, so I'm not going to do this, but I already had one this morning, but Ninja Nitro. And Ninja Nitro helps with natural sustained energy as opposed to coffee. And one thing that we want to help you do potentially, which you may not ever want to do, is to swap out this morning regimen drink with your coffee. So like we're going to try and figure out how we can maybe eliminate some of it. I don't know, some of you guys are on like 6 cups a day. We'll see. And if you don't want to go off coffee, no big deal. But this would be a really good swap out for you. Because that helps with cognition. And how many of you guys have a hard time with like your mental focus and cognition? So you can just pour that in there as well. I'm going to take some sulfurzyme here, okay? And this is included in your kit. And the sulfurzyme is, we're just going to do like a 1/4 teaspoon, because I'm going to do 2 of these. So I'm extending this. The normal is 1/2 teaspoon. I'm just going to take about 1/2 of a 1/2 teaspoon, right? So 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to dump that in there. And you can do this twice throughout the day, or just do this once. So I've just done half of a serving here, and it's just a 1/2 teaspoon is your daily serving. But they're saying, you're going to do this like 2 times. So I've just made this a 1/4 of what we needed to do, and you can do that once to start. So this will last you like maybe 4 months, which is awesome, right? So I'm gonna teach you some kind of extending things here. What does sulfurzyme do? Sulfurzyme is MSM. It has, so what I've put in this drink, so let me help you understand this, is this drink is now become immune support, hair, skin, and nails, your gut health, because there's prebiotics in here, and you want prebiotics. The Ninja Wolfberry is a prebiotic, and then that sulfurzyme I just put in there has FOS and wolfberry, which is prebiotic. Prebiotic is the good bacteria that your gut feeds off of. And I will tell you, if your gut is unhealthy, 85%, it has been noted, of all of our issues, all of our illnesses come from our gut problems. So we want to heal our gut, and I'm going to help you heal your gut so that you can actually have all of these extra benefits and feel good. So you're just going to sip on this. That's it. I mean, this is a super simple drink. Dr. Minky calls it the red drink. He puts a little lime in here, which you're welcome to do, but you can just do it like this. This is phenomenal. Let me just tell you, phenomenal. Okay? And it's a simple, quick, easy daily thing to do. Oh, that's so good. I just want to sit here and drink that all now. But that's your immunity, and that's your hair, skin, and nails, and that is your gut health, okay? That is also your energy and brain and all of that stuff. So people, honestly, sulfurzyme is where it's at. How many of you guys have a little bit like achy joints sometimes? That's what MSM does as well. So really, really phenomenal benefits for this. And I know many of you guys would like to have better skin, better hair, stronger nails, but more importantly, you want to feel better walking around, right? You want to have your immune system bounce back. And some of you guys have an immune system that's overworking. What all of this is going to do is going to help regulate. And you heard me maybe talk about wolfberries in this, and some people know that that is considered a nightshade. If you are on an anti-nightshade diet, this you can take, okay? So just so you know, we have hundreds of thousands of people on a nightshade-free diet, and this helps them. So just know that this is all, and if you are allergic to sulfur, right, you're not. It's sulfa that you're allergic to. You've just got it mixed up. You can't be allergic to sulfur because your body makes it naturally. Okay, so that's your sulfurzyme. Super B, and that's your Ninja Red, okay? Super B is energy, but it's vital energy. So this is like your body's gas or oil change, right? This Super B, they're 2 little capsules, very inexpensive supplement. You can do 1 a day. So we're going to split this in the beginning. Just do 1 a day. It's going to make your pee bright yellow, and no, you're not peeing it all out. It is just part of a B complex. The B complex in here is one of the most bioavailable Bs I've ever tried, including injections, which I have done. This is better. I'm not kidding. So you can talk to your doctor if your doctor has you on B supplements and see if you can get on Super B. It's going to save you a ton of money. This is like 20 bucks or something like that. And it's probably one of our most popular. All of these are some of our most populars, but Super B converts all of your food that you eat into energy to get your body working properly. So all of the functions that your body needs to go through, right? So many of you guys who have this sort of sluggish body because you're not operating properly, Super B will give you energy. Some of you guys take Super B and you're like, I don't really get energy. It's because your body is already pretty optimally transferring and translating the energy, and you probably are on a pretty good diet, but that's going to continue to help your immune system. It's going to help your emotions. There's all sorts of stuff that Super B helps with. Okay, Omega Gi's 3. These are so important for some of you guys who have brain issues, and I'm going to say some, but I kind of think all of us do. How many of you guys have like, what in the world? Like, I didn't know I was 80, right? Those moments of like, oh, where are my glasses? And they're on top of your head, right? So this is your omegas, and omegas are good for brain health, but they're really good for hair and skin and all that good stuff, but also emotions. So those of you guys that feel a little blue, you need this, and that's probably what you're missing in your diet. This also has 100% of your daily vitamin D, which is also important for all of those emotions, all the feels we want to kind of get figured out. But so many doctors are prescribing now omegas and B, right? I see this happening all the time where doctors give you the medication that you're supposed to be on for whatever you're doing, and then they're like, I want you on a B complex and omegas and vitamin D. Those are common. This covers all of that. And you're not any synthetics. These are all from nature, okay? So that will come with your kit. We're gonna work on your gut and your digestive system, because your gut health is so important to proper health. Like I just said, right, earlier. And Life 9, I'm not going to take the cap off because I have this in the refrigerator as well. I have another one that's open, and I didn't want to do a whole lecture with my beautiful Life 9 good gut bacteria, not cold. So unopened bottles don't need to be refrigerated, although we put them in right when we get them here. When you open it, when air gets in here, because these are pressure sealed, but when air gets in here, they must be refrigerated. All right. And you've seen this at health food stores. The high quality probiotics are in the refrigerator section. Again, because of how this is packaged, you can keep it out, but and don't worry about the shipping. But once you've opened it, it must be in the refrigerator. And these probiotics, there's 9 strains of good gut bacteria. And these are the best. And you can dose on these too. So I'm going to teach you some things once you sign up to get this set. You're going to learn some stuff about this, because we're going to go over personally. Like, I'm physically going to walk you through this. We're going to get on the phone, or we're going to get on a Zoom chat so that you can see my face, however you want to do it. If you live in Orange County, you're going to come over to my house, or I'm going to come over to yours, whatever you want to do. Most people like coming over to my house because then you can actually smell all the oils on the oil wall, and you can also see other products and how they work. And you get to meet Dash, my crazy dog. But the Life 9 is one of the most important things for your immune system and your gut health and all the inner workings of everything that you need to kind of stay good with life, okay? And last but not least, Essential Zymes 4 will change your world. And what I mean by that is many of us have a problem with certain lectins and a sensitivity to certain foods that you don't even know why. You don't know why your body is full of inflammation. You don't know why you are achy and tired and you have brain fog, and you don't understand why you're breaking out, right? This is something that is going to help your system break down certain food items so that it doesn't get trapped and pushed into your gut. And that's what happens. You've got this lining in your intestines that has all these good bacteria. If you're letting these bad quality, poor things that you're eating, these lectins, look that up. It's a very important part of your system. You are robbed of vital energy and robbed of life. So this Essential Zymes 4, we have 4 different enzymes, technically 5 because we have a kids one, but everyone asks me where to start because I use all of them, where to start. And this is the one to start with. And this will, I'm talking, change your world, right? So what all of this is going to do for you is it's going to give you more vitality in life. You're going to get better focus. It's going to help your immune system. It's going to help your gut. It's going to help your digestive system. It's going to help your brain health, right? The cognition, your emotional health, your energy, and your hair, skin, and nails. So these are all the areas that most people are hoping to attack. Okay. And so if this is something that you absolutely are excited to do and excited to get started on, you're going to go ahead and just call Young Living. You can even go to youngliving.com. And if you have someone that's working with you, you type in their member number to be helping. Okay. So this is important to note. But if you don't have anyone helping you and you want me to help you, you would type in my member number, because that's how it's going to give you the discount. The only way that you're going to get this amazing deal for $400 is by typing in my member number. So you ready for it? It's 946916. And when you sign up with me, you get me helping you through all of this, but you also are going to get my brand new supplements desk reference, and you're going to get access to all of my brand new supplement video series. And so those of you guys that already are members, because I know so many of you guys are, and I would love to see your team names. We all have fun team names. My team name is the Spark Droppers. We even have a cross-line team called Team Vitality. So I would love to see what team you guys are on. Share your team, but do know that when you join with me, you get access to these teams. And we have what's called the Vitality Lifestyle Coaching Program, which covers everything Young Living has. And one of the main sections is a deep dive into every single supplement. So if you are interested, because you are already on a team and you are already working through all this stuff, but you know the essential oils, but you really want to deep dive into learning from me through video, on all the supplements and the groupings and how to work them. That course is right now offered for $3.99 for the entire course. Normally $7.99, but it's half price right now. So if you want the whole thing, including the business builder with tons of guest lectures, like Lindsay Elmore is in there. We have a ton of people doing. Jim Bob will be in there soon. We have Lucy Libido and Sarah Harnish and all the people that you love, Dr. Ollie. And so it's a really great course. But if you just want one section, normally it's $200 per section. There's 4 sections. If you just want one, the supplement section, it's $99 right now. And so that's a really amazing thing for many of you guys who are just like, I need concentrated education. I need to understand how to use this stuff. And it's going to be amazing for you to get through all of this really quickly because it's already up. All right. Oh, I love all your teams. You guys, the sweet team, the happy, helpful oilers. I love it. You guys have so many good name groups. The oil tribe, the oil party team, joy droppers. Oh, you guys, oily generations teams. It's so much fun. And when you join a community of like-minded individuals, even if you feel like, I'm not entirely sure what to do, and you feel sort of new, which we all were there, I'm going to tell you, these communities of people are beautiful and it's amazing to get started. So I would love to add you to Spark Droppers and get you started in all this stuff. But message me if you have any questions. And if you want to get started, what I'm going to do, if you need to do the payment plan, you're going to message me because I'm going to walk you through the steps. But this is going to come to you not only with all this, okay, because I know this is worth $400, all this. And I didn't even show you everything because you're going to get a bunch of Ninja Red and some Ninja Nitro. It's going to be this amazing package of stuff. You're also going to get a bunch of free things from Young Living. And who doesn't like free? I'm talking about an amazing amount of free stuff from Young Living. Yee, like, I love it. Okay, so that's it. We did so good. We literally hit the 1 hour mark. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. I hope this has blessed you beyond anything. These are my top supplements that I would recommend to anyone. These are what I take, plus others. So don't think that we're pigeonholed into just this. If you want to make a custom kit with me, that's what I love doing. I love getting down to the nitty-gritty with you. And if you want to join with me using my member number to get my discount, I'm going to go ahead and work with you one-on-one. And maybe you're like, I don't really care what my hair looks like. I don't want the Sulfurzyme and I feel good. My joints are fine. So we can swap that with something else. I don't know why you would want to, but we can do the best we can for you and make sure that it is exactly the kit that you want. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a beautifully blessed afternoon and we will see you on the other side. All right. Be blessed, guys.